pay money for that. There's hardly any poor neighborhoods up high in the city of San Francisco. I would have to say there's only one, and for the most part, all the rich neighborhoods are up high. Central Pacific Railroad Company. They struck rich building the railroad, and many of them built their mansions at the top of Mount Hill, including James Flood, who was one of the only people who seriously struck rich in the gold rush. He built his mansion up there too. We have the beautiful Fairmont Hotel and the Grace Cathedral. But all but one of the buildings that were built up there were actually burned in the 1906 earthquake fires. And so we'll be seeing that one. The ringing, that's the cable. As you get to the top of this hill, it has to be cyclist way to go, buddy. We're gonna wait. Actually, but get ready because it's going to be some cool views. But to the left, this is the Grace Cathedral. You can see the beautiful detail of the stained glass. You'll also be able to see the doors as you go by. This began construction in the 30s, 1930s, and it was completed in the 60s. It's actually on the old location of Charles Crocker's mansion. So there's a big mansion, and then we built Grace Cathedral on top of it. So check out to the right. Concert Court is a 90-degree angle for a reason. You look over to the right and the sprawling houses, that's where I live. House. I mean, it is kind of nice if someone does like to go to the Grace Cathedral for religious purposes to take the California cable car, especially during the holidays. They have them all decked out with like garland and things, and it can be an occasion for people. Also, you can stretch at the top of the steps like this guy. That's also good too, we all do that. Building that withstood the earthquake fires. This is Flood's mansion. It's called the Flood Mansion. It is now used by the Pacific Union Club, which is a men's-only club, presidents and rich guys. If you have a better way of explaining that, tell me, because that's all I know how to explain it. Women are only allowed to go in there upon invitation. I actually hear they do have to enter through a back door, so cross-dressing, right? I have wigs in my bag. Go. This is the Fairmont Hotel to the left, where the United Nations drafted their first charter, and to the right is the Mark Hopkins Hotel. Now Omar is going to let go of the brakes, and we're just going to coast down this hill. But please remain seated as we go down. If he does have to slam on his brakes, I don't want you having to hit that windshield. So, we hear you, Cowhide. Here we go. So you see Cowhide cable car crossing in front of us? Make sure you look to your left to your right and put it in behind you as we go down. Amazing view. You can see to the left the tip of the Transamerica Pyramid. Oh my gosh, dude. You're gonna have to withstand. Fine. Woo! So, limited activity was not always desirable. Chinese immigrants were very discriminated against, being blamed and often pushed to nevertheless, Chinatown had been a location after the big triangle they fought to stay in the area. If you take Grand Street over to our left, the original main drag of our Chinatown, and still is where a lot of the restaurants and stores are. This church here to the left is St. Mary's Cathedral, when the sun appeared the time by the people. It was put on the church before the 1906 earthquake, and when it did not collapse in the earthquake as the only building in Chinatown that was stood, a lot of people thought that it was an act of God. But to be honest with you, I'm not saying anything against it, but as we say, withstood the earthquake, any building that withstood the earthquake in San Francisco, oftentimes did actually have damage, but we were able to rebuild it and make it look exactly the same. So we use a lot of the same material. But going onward, this building on our right is the old Bank of America building, 555 California. People say that the reason why it's designed this way is so that everyone can have a corner office, but that's just kind of fail. It has been in a lot of different movies, Exodus, Free Theory, and The Towering Inferno. Now the road that's directly perpendicular to us here is Montgomery Street. We are crossing over the original shoreline of San Francisco. Montgomery is the original shoreline here. And we're going into an area that used to be known as the Yerba Buena Cove. Now, people got around during the mid-1800s on a wagon and on vessel and horseback and things like that. A lot of people that found out about the fish got on a boat, a lot of the big passenger ships, and would come and dock ship in Yerba Buena Cove because it was the closest place where the shore had for the gold rush. And so a lot of these boats were just completely abandoned, even the passengers. This area really became seedy very quickly. We nicknamed it the Barbary Coast, thinking that the entire tied out was and it was called one of the largest railway systems and was one of the highest crime rates in the United States during that time. It actually lasted much longer than a lot of people think it did. It was late 1800s until World War II that it was actually existing in San Francisco. It was a lot of the military personnel that were going to these establishments when they were in and around the city in World War II that made the military kind of crack down on the Barbary Coast and shut it off. For quite some time. That have been invented. One of them was invented in the Barbary Coast, known as being Shanghai. Now, if someone wanted to use one of these words, what they would do is they would hire a crypt, someone that would stick something in one of these tanks and pass it out to be taken down in these underground tunnels out through the ports for about 2 years before it came back to San Francisco. There was one named Shanghai Kelly who actually Shanghai once. Afterwards, Shanghai Kelly actually lost and died of immigration. What's your I think where the World Trade Terminal is going to go from San Francisco to... Lipton. Folks, I see some people with some really good looking clothes and hats and things like that. We're going to be going on the beach, and it's going to be quite windy. I'm actually not going to talk the whole time, but we'll make our way over the bridge. As we go across, we're going to be looking over your left shoulder, and you'll be seeing us go away from the city, heading over to Yerba Buena Island to Treasure Island. We're going to have some opportunity at Treasure Island to take some really amazing photos, and then we'll be going back across the bridge at the top level looking towards the city. So
I'm excited. Get ready for some pretty awesome photos.